Get some knowledge. Attend Whiskey U.
How many Whiskey U's have you been to?
Probably been about 10 or 11 Whiskey U's.
Yeah, this is my second one.
Probably 5 or 6.
And I came out to that first one, and I was like, oh, well, this is nice.
Top notch. Kermit's amazing.
From then, it just took off for me.
Stay tuned for details on the next session of Whiskey U.
I'm a sophomore, so I think I have 2 years to go, and I'm hoping to get a master's. Fingers crossed.
Whiskey me?
No! Whiskey you!
Double arm kid carry. Looks like dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the
right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
James was diagnosed at 3 months old with neuroblastoma. We went from thinking we had a healthy 3-month-old little boy, all of a sudden he had this super serious cancer. It was heartbreaking. He had chemotherapy until he was just under a year old, and at that point he was in remission.
Went that way for a year and then relapsed February of 2023, and here we are 1 year later, finishing up treatment, hopefully.
The research is extremely important. The treatments that they're developing here get shared with all the doctors to help treat children worldwide.
It's contributing something like one more piece of the puzzle to curing this horrible disease. We all want the same thing. We all want our children to live, have long, meaningful lives.
Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
From the State Street Studio, this is WMVP WTBC HD2, Chicago.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Coming up on SportsCenter all night. It's a finals rematch in the WNBA as the Lynx host to Liberty.
Just a regular season win for us. We have a lot of work left to do this year. We let what happened last year go, and this is a new season.
Movement in the MLB as we get closer to the MLB trade deadline.
This is breaking. The Cincinnati Reds are finalizing a trade to acquire right-hander Zach Littell from the Tampa Bay Rays.
Trey Hendrickson ends the holdout.
So the goal was always to be in Cincinnati. Some things transpired. It became public. That I left to go to Florida, but it was never something that I wasn't going to be here to help the 2025 Bengals.
The Cubs and Brewers face off in a battle of the National League.
Ready to go. The first pitch by Peralta, hitting the air. Deep right field. It's got a chance.
Let's go camping. The latest from NFL training camps.
It's been good. We're continuing to grow that relationship, but, where we're at with that, that's where we're at. And, it's still growing.
Plus, we take a trip to Minnesota with 50 states in 50 days.
Start, sit, cut. Fran Tarkenton, Randy Moss, Adrian Peterson.
From the worldwide headquarters of ESPN, this is SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Alex Del Barrio.
SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. Alex Del Barrio here with you on the eve, now on the day of the Major League Baseball trade deadline. Players already moving, including one going back to a familiar destination as we inch closer to that. We've got some WNBA to get to as well, including a rematch of the WNBA Finals for the first time in this 2025 season. But let's get to that trade deadline. Right off the top, one of the bigger names to move was rumored to be moving, and he goes back to a former destination. That's Seattle acquiring Diamondbacks third baseman Eugenio Suarez. Sources have told ESPN's Jeff Passan that deal is indeed done, but is it pending a medical review. Suarez bolsters the Mariners lineup as he brings his 36 home runs and 87 runs batted in to Seattle. Of course, we mentioned Suarez was hit on the right index finger by a pitch on Monday, but a CT scan and MRI exam revealed no fractures, and he was in the lineup on Wednesday, going 1 for 4 with a double in a 7-2 loss to the Detroit Tigers. But the Mariners in action, hoping to get Suarez back in their lineup. Let's get to the action as they took on the Athletics on Talk 650 KSTE. Bottom of the third inning, Athletics with a 2-1 lead, looking to extend it. Miguel Andujar at the plate.
2-1 the count. Is the 2-1 pitch to Andujar. That's one. A drive down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone. It's hooking, and it is a fair ball, and it is gone. Just a shot down that left field line inside the left field foul pole. Ball got out here quickly.
And he's really quick with his swing, Johnny.
Man, it's a 3-1 lead for the Athletics.
That was in the bottom of the third. Fast forward to the seventh. Andujar at the plate again.
0-1 pitch. Wu delivers, and that one's one drive to deep left field. That'll be his second home run in as many at-bats. It's 5-3 Athletics.
5-3 Athletics. They go on to win it 5-4 over the Mariners. 6th win in the last 7 games for the A's. Nick Kurtz, no hits from him, but did draw a walk, so the 16th straight game reaching base for the Athletics. Rookie Jorge Polanco with his 17th home run of the season in the loss for Seattle. But again, the news out of Seattle and Arizona, the Seattle Mariners, once again, according to ESPN's Jeff Passan, have acquired their former third baseman who played for Seattle in the 22-23 seasons, Eugenio Suarez, going from the D-backs to the Seattle Mariners. The 34-year-old is in a contract year and playing, of course, like one of the best in baseball at the moment with the home runs he's been putting up throughout this season for Arizona. Let's fast forward and let's move on over to Cincinnati, where the Dodgers are taking on the Reds, looking for the sweep. Shohei Ohtani on the bump for LA, looking to make his first 4-inning start of the season on the mound, which would be the longest since August of 2023, when he went 3 innings in the last 2 starts since getting back on the mound for LA. But Shohei struggling on the mound in the 4th inning.
1-0 to Spencer Steer, who had a base hit in the 2nd inning. Pitch missed outside. 2-0. All of a sudden, we're seeing a different Ohtani, and now this is Dave Roberts coming out. Also, trainer Thomas Albert coming out. And they're wondering if Ohtani might be hurt.
Anthony Bonder, the lefty, by the way, just starting to throw in the bullpen.
So they will take a look at Ohtani.
And back-to-back wild pitches. And then there were 2 other pitches that were way outside as well.
This would be concerning. It looks like they're going to go to the bullpen. Ohtani's going to come out.
Well, that's a big concern. The other question is, how does this affect the designated hitter?
AM 570 LA Sports on the call. Ohtani would leave there in that 4th inning, but did not record an out. So threw back-to-back wild pitches and a 4-pitch walk to Tyler Stevenson before he was pulled. It was reported that Ohtani was dealing with lower body cramping and tightness. More on that in a bit. We move forward in the game. In a 2-2 game, Cincinnati Spencer Steer at the plate with a chance to put the Reds in front.
Here it is. Swung on, fly ball, well hit, deep center field. Outman going back at the wall. He leaps off his glove. It stays in play. 2 runs are going to score. Steer on his horse to third. The relay throw, not in time, and it rolls away from Freeland. Outman kept it in the park, but it doesn't matter. The Reds get 2 and have taken a 4-2 lead in the bottom of the 8th inning.
700 WLW on the call. Reds would go on to win it by a final of 5-2, avoiding the sweep. They're the only team in baseball to not get swept this season. Ohtani allowed 2 earned and struck out 4 in his 3-inning outing. Dodgers struggling, tied for the 3rd worst record in baseball since the All-Star break. Here's Dodger skipper Dave Roberts with an update on Ohtani after the game.
As far as today, certainly there was some cramping, some hip tightness that affected the pitching, and you can see him kind of banging his hip, trying to loosen it up. I don't know how long he's been dealing with it. I know he mentioned to me that the humidity kind of made his body respond a certain way. I don't know how much it's affected his hitting, though.
That was Dodgers skipper Dave Roberts on Ohtani being pulled from the mound in the 4th inning in Wednesday's loss to the Reds. Move on in Major League Baseball. Rangers taking on the Angels in Anaheim. Halos winners of 3 in a row and 4 of 5, facing Nathan Eovaldi on the bump. Has 4 straight starts of at least 5 innings and 1 run or fewer allowed. Rangers pitching staff has been playing very well as of late. Let's get to the Rangers bats, though. We get to the 8th inning on 105.3. The fan, Adolis Garcia at the plate.
The 1-1. And that one is looped toward the left field corner. This one's got a shot, and it is gone. Adolis Garcia with a home run down the left field line. For Adolis, it's his 15th of the year. He gives Texas a 4-1 lead.
Goes for 375 feet out of there on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas. Rangers will go on to win it by a final of 6-3. Nathan Eovaldi, 7 innings, 1 earned, and 4 strikeouts. His 4th start of at least 7 and 1 or fewer runs allowed. Marcus Semien, 3 for 5 of the double and a couple of runs batted in. He's hitting .524 over the last 5 games against the Angels. Angels had their win streak snapped at 3 games. Before we get to the White Sox and Phillies, Philadelphia makes a deal less than 24 hours before Thursday's trade deadline, picking up closer Yohan Duran from the Twins and paid a pretty high price to get him for the back end of their bullpen. Minnesota got Eduardo Tate and a top 100 catching prospect and pitcher Mick Abel in the deal. Let's get to the game between the White Sox and Phillies on ESPN 1000. Bottom of the 7th inning, White Sox with a 3-2 lead looking to extend it.
Here comes the 1-2. Swing and a fly ball to left. It's deep. Marsh back at the wall. She's gone. 3-run homer. Probably should have used that curveball again because that sneaky fastball did not work. He got all of it and indeed has joined the hit parade. Miguel Vargas with his 13th. Some big insurance. It's 6-2.
But the White Sox were not done, up 6-2 later in the inning. 2 men on, bottom of the 7th inning, looking for more.
Here's the pitch. Caro hits a fly ball out into deep left field. Marsh is back at the fence. Gone! Another 3-run jack. 9-2. Oh, my.
On Edgar Caro with the home run there. ESPN 1000. White Sox beat the Phillies 9-3. Chicago with 7 runs on 8 hits in the 7th inning there. White Sox now 8-4 since the break. Second best record in baseball in that span. Their 23 homers are 3rd most in baseball in that span as well. Phillies have lost 6 of their last 9 road series this season. Let's get to the Rays and Yankees. Yankees still without Aaron Judge in their lineup. Winners on Tuesday despite a troubling 12-19 record versus AL East teams this season. We'll pick up the action in the top of the 9th inning. Josh Lowe at the plate for Tampa Bay.
On 2-0 to Lowe.
There's a long high drive, deep to right, down the line, to the pole it goes. It's gone! 2-run homer for Josh Lowe, and the Rays have taken a 3-2 lead.
Josh Lowe with the home run there, giving Tampa the 3-2 lead on 620 WDAE. So the Yankees trailing 3-3 in the bottom of the 9th inning, but Anthony Volpe even things up.
And the pitch. High fly ball down the left field line, giving Chase's Mangum on the track at the wall. See ya! Volpe has tied the game. It's 3-3.
That call on Amazon Prime. Volpe with his 16th home run of the season. So a tie game. We go to the 11th inning. Ryan McMahon, just newly acquired just last week by the Yankees, right before this trade deadline, picking him up from the Colorado Rockies. He comes up with a chance to give the Yankees the win.
0-1. This should do it. Fly ball, DeLuca. He'll let it go over his head, and the Yankees win. Jazz Chisholm will score. McMahon with the walk-off single, and the Yankees in a wild game wins this one in 11 innings by a score of 5-4.
So welcome to the Bronx, Ryan McMahon, the newly acquired third baseman with a walk-off hit, his 5th career walk-off hit, and first with the Yankees. Ryan McMahon after the game.
Ryan McMahon, you pick up the walk-off win. You put the ball in play, but what did it take for this team to come away with a W tonight?
A lot of big at-bats by the boys, man. Trent Grisham with the big homer. Bellinger, big late, man. Good team win.
When they call the balk, the runners advance. What are you now telling yourself in that situation?
Thank God I don't have to get the bunt down. I'm ready to swing this thing. Let's get this thing done.
What has this week been like for you, arriving here, going right into the action, and then when this team needs a big hit, a big moment, you are providing?
Just feels good to come through, man. You know, this is big-time baseball. I'm happy to be part of it, happy to be part of this team.
Now, there are a lot of mistakes that were offset with this win. I know teammates want to win games for each other, pick one another up. What is the energy like in the dugout in those situations?
I feel like it's big, man. I had an error early. Will and Volpe picked me up, man, and I feel like with this team, there's so many good players on it, that's going to keep happening.
That was Ryan McMahon on Amazon Prime. Welcome to the Bronx, McMahon. Yankees are now 3-1 in their last 4 following a 3-game losing skid. Rays now 2-8 in their last 10 since July 20th, the worst record in the American League. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Let's move on to NFL training camps. And Trey Hendrickson was in Bengals camp on Wednesday, ending his holdout, but he was only a spectator on the practice field. He was engaged in practice near the team's defensive line, speaking to other players on the field. Here's Ben Baby on Hendrickson's arrival to camp.
I talked to a couple players, and they cracked jokes and said, oh, Trey's here today. But more serious people definitely understood the seriousness of Trey being at practice. They felt his presence out there. One player that I spoke to said that the fact that he was in town today, at practice today, showed some optimism that a deal might be closer to getting done than is previously believed. One who shares that sentiment was quarterback Joe Burrow. Now, in his press conference that was in this room just a couple hours ago, I asked Joe about Trey, and Trey said that Joe said that production is value, and you have to pay guys like that. And then after the press conference, Joe and I continued that conversation in the locker room, and he had something interesting to say. He said that the fact that Hendrickson is here maybe goes to show it's closer to getting done than even Burrow believed it was previously to today. So that's something to continue to monitor as this camp keeps rolling.
That's ESPN NFL Bengals reporter Ben Baby with some update on Hendrickson. As for Hendrickson himself, he did speak to the media on Wednesday, and he was asked on why he decided to report to Bengals camp with a contract still not being done.
Prior to leaving to Florida, I was here 30 days in Cincinnati, so the goal was always to be in Cincinnati. Some things transpired. It became public that I left to go to Florida, but it was never something that I wasn't going to be here to help the 2025 Bengals.
Why did you decide to come to practice today?
Like I said, the plan was to be here day one. Like I said, things transpired. Nothing's really changed. So being here, just acclimating with the guys, that was a priority for my wife and I.
More from Hendrickson on the latest with his contract talks with the Bengals.
Things are exactly the same. What I'm not going to do is, as best as I can, avoid being a distraction. You know, I want to help the guys. You know, the guys that have helped me along the way, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, even Sam Hubbard helped me a lot when I was here. So to be that right now, I think that's what's most important, and this narrative will kind of iron itself out as we continue to progress towards the season.
That was Bengals defensive end Trey Hendrickson again reporting to Cincinnati Bengals training camp on Wednesday, ending his holdout, but still not on the practice field. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Coming up, more from the Diamond as we inch closer to the MLB trade deadline. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
The traditions. The rivalries.
There was a shot to the end zone. Touchdown.
The drama.
Every week there was something magical.
This is the most wide-open college football season we've had ever.
23 days until week 1 kicks off. College football lives here. ESPN Radio. More SportsCenter all night. Coming up next.
Whiskey fans can learn a lot from Professor Carmen DeFalco.
Not too many people that can have sports knowledge and also whiskey bourbon knowledge.
Carmen's amazing. I do like whiskeys and bourbons. Still kind of a novice, and he helps me understand a little bit better what I should be looking for.
I'm a hardcore bourbon guy, and I listen to Carmen Yurko every day.
He can pull out the very essentials that I can't even taste.
Stay tuned for details on the next session of Whiskey U, an ESPN Chicago production.
The open road is calling.
and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire up your fantasy. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
From Professor Carmen DeFalco.
Not too many people that can have sports knowledge and also whiskey bourbon knowledge.
Carmen's amazing. I do like whiskeys and bourbons. Still kind of a novice, and he helps me understand a little bit better what I should be looking for.
I'm a hardcore bourbon guy, and I listen to Carmen Yurko every day.
He can pull out the very essentials that I can't even taste.
Stay tuned for details on the next session of Whiskey U, an ESPN Chicago production.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Chicago's home for sports is on Twitch. See what we're up to. Follow ESPN 1000 Chicago today.
You're listening to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Alex Del Barrio.
We continue rolling on here on Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive. Let's get to the National League again here on the day of the MLB trade deadline. It's coming up, and we've already got players on the move, as we mentioned before. Eugenio Suarez heading from Arizona to the Seattle Mariners. We'll have more details on that as the show continues. But the Cubs taking on the Brewers. Milwaukee entering Wednesday 33-15 since June the 1st. Their best record in baseball in that span, and a 2-game lead over the Cubs in the National League Central. Let's get to the action here on the Cubs Radio Network. Started with the top of the first. Michael Busch up at the plate.
Busch hitting .276. We're ready to go. The first pitch by Peralta hit in the air. Deep right field. It's got a chance. Cubs lead 1-0. Michael Busch cracking a home run on the game's first pitch. And the Cubs have an immediate 1-0 lead. And listen to the Cub fans here at American Family Field.
Yeah. Not a long drive for Cubs fans to make it over to Milwaukee as they take a 1-0 lead on the Busch leadoff homer, hitting the first pitch of the game out. Let's fast forward to the third inning. Cubs extending their lead already with a 2-1 advantage, looking for more as Moises Ballesteros is at the plate.
And the delivery. Swinging a drive, left center field, a base hit in the alley. 2 runs have scored. Racing around third, Horner. He's going to try to score. The relay to the plate, not in time. 3-run double, Moises Ballesteros. Welcome back to the Chicago Cubs, Moises. Cubs lead 5-1.
And Cubs would go on to win it 10-3 as they snap the Brewers' 3-game win streak. Brewers are 5-3 after their 11-game win streak in mid-July. Freddie Peralta on the bump for the Brewers. Peralta with a season-worst 4 innings and 5 earned runs allowed in his shortest outing of the year. Royals taking on the Braves. Joey Wentz on the bump, mowing down Braves hitters, working in the 7th, already with 6 strikeouts.
Wentz to Witt. Got it. Looking. Burned the outside corner. C.B. Buckner rings him up. Strikeout number 7 for Joey Wentz. Great work for 6 innings. We go to the 7th. We are scoreless.
On 680 The Fan, Wentz would lead with 2 outs in the 7th, ties the longest scoreless outing of his career, got the no decision as it would be into the 10th inning. Salvador Perez up at the plate for the Royals on 96.5 The Fan.
Here's the pitch. Salvi laces it into right center field, down into the gap, a base hit. Here comes Melendez, racing around third. No throw home. Ball game over. The game's first run is the only one the Royals need. El Capitan walks it off in the bottom of the 10th, and the Royals beat the Braves 1-0.
A 0-0 game into the 10th inning. It finally gets a run across. 9th career walk-off hit for Perez. 3rd most in Royals history. 9 Royals pitchers combined for the shutout, tied for the most pitchers used in a shutout in Major League Baseball history. This was the 8th game in the big leagues this year, scoreless through 9 innings. We had 9 of those games last season. It's the 9th walk-off loss this season for the Braves, the 2nd most in baseball. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Continuing on, Padres hosting the Mets, looking for the sweep. The Mets do make a deal for a reliever on Wednesday, adding 2-time All-Star reliever Ryan Helsley from the Cardinals for 3 minor leaguers. He's expected to serve as a setup man in the Mets bullpen. Padres have a red-hot lineup right now. Manny Machado hitting .552 with 16 hits over the last 7 games. Luis Arraez is on a 12-game hit streak as well, tied for the longest active streak in baseball. Speaking of the aforementioned Machado, comes up in the bottom of the 2nd inning, 2-minute scoring position on 97.3 The Fan.
And Machado lines it into left field. That's down to the base hit. Maldonado has scored. Tatis is on his way. A rise to 3rd and a 2-run single for Manny Machado, who does it again. And the Padres take a 2-0 lead.
Mr. 305 is locked in right now.
Machado, 2 RBIs, giving him 71 on the season. They're on 97.3 The Fan. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd inning now. Gavin Sheets at the plate with a man on.
0-2 in the air to very deep right center field. McNeil is going back. He's looking up. This one gonna go. Oh, Gavin Sheets. 15th of the year to tie a career high. His first home run as a dad, and a 2-run shot with 2 outs in the 3rd doubles the Padre lead. It's 4-0.
Little dad pop.
Padres shut out the Mets 5-0. Their 15th shutout win this season, most in the big leagues. It's 5 straight now for San Diego after having lost 4 in a row. Mets get swept after a 7-game win streak. Yu Darvish with 7 innings, 2 hits allowed, and 7 strikeouts in the victory for the Padres. They pick up their 60th win of the season. Astros hosted the Nationals. Houston has been reeling as of late, losers of 5 of 6, but finally got a win on Tuesday. Runs are tough to come by for Houston's lineup, which is why there's been rumors floating around about some interest by Astros owner Jim Crane to reacquire Carlos Correa. Just 1 run scored in each of the last 3. That certainly changed on Wednesday, thanks to the hot bat of Jose Altuve. KBME 790 on the call.
First pitch here, and Altuve hits it high in the air, pretty deep to left. It sends back one at the wall, looking up. See you later! Into the Landry's Crawford boxes. A 3-run shot for Jose Altuve, and a 4-1 lead for the Astros. Altuve's 18th of the year.
Well, he's had a great month of July, and that was a banger.
KBME 790 on the call. Astros finally find some offense with a 9-1 victory. Jose Altuve going 4 for 4 in the game, his 41st career game with 4 hits in a game. Still looking for his first career 5-hit game. Astros have won 2 in a row after a 5-game losing streak. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Still more to get to, including the MLB trade deadline. Eugenio Suarez is headed back to the Seattle Mariners. That will be certainly a topic worth talking about. Shohei Ohtani left his start as in the 4th inning. We'll talk about that, plus some WNBA action, a rematch of the WNBA Finals with the Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty squaring off for the first time in the 2025 season. We'll get to all of that and more, including our half-hour headlines right at the top of our next segment. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
What's up, kiddos? Clinton Yates here. Coming up on Thursday, we'll rank the top 5 long shot MVP dark horses in the NFL and update you on all the latest with the trade deadline in Major League Baseball. That's Thursday on Clinton and Friends at 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN.
This is a Bears town. We worship great defense. We appreciate frigid temperatures when our 11 are battling their 11 on the lakefront in January. We love a helmet with a chunk of fresh turf lodged in it. This is a Bears town. And we are the new home of the Bears. ESPN Chicago.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play.
You've seen the headlines, heard the debates.
The three-point ball has created a monotonous rhythm to the game, and others.
Has the three-pointer ruined basketball? And how did we get here?
The rise of the three-point shot can be partially traced to an eccentric Kansas genius named Martin Manley,
whose story didn't turn out quite the way he imagined.
I decided I wanted to have one of the most organized goodbyes in history.
30 for 30 podcast presents
Chasing Basketball Heaven.
Available now, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey Chicago, your local IKEA stores know that summer is short, so make the most of it. Visit your local IKEA Schaumburg or IKEA Bolingbrook stores between now and August 8th for your chance to win a fully catered suite night for your family and friends at an upcoming White Sox game. Just scan the QR code in the store. And Friday, August 8th, it's IKEA's annual summer barbecue from 4 to 7 p.m. Enjoy a delicious buffet of American backyard favorites with some Swedish flair. So stop by your local IKEA today to enter to win, and then join the barbecue fun on August 8th.
You can't escape a traffic jam. Know what else you can't escape? Seasonal allergies. And you might think you can avoid that coffee stain until... Oh, really? You can't escape a lot of things in life, but you can escape prediabetes. Prediabetes captures 1 in 3 adults. There are usually no signs of prediabetes. In fact, most people don't even know they have it. But with early diagnosis, you can change the outcome and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Take action by taking the 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. You might not be able to escape having this song stuck in your head, but you can escape prediabetes. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org today. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
If you miss a show or an interview on ESPN 1000, you can hear it anytime, anywhere through the all-new ESPN Chicago app.
Listening to SportsCenter all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Alex Del Barrio.
SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, cars, homes, boats, motorcycles, RVs, and more at progressive.com.
Half-hour headlines on SportsCenter all night.
Well, it is trade deadline time in Major League Baseball. We have one of the bigger names on the move, and he's headed to somewhere familiar. Third baseman Eugenio Suarez is leaving the Arizona Diamondbacks and headed back to the Seattle Mariners, a team that traded him to Arizona a few seasons ago for 3 prospects, sources told ESPN and ESPN's Jeff Passan on Wednesday night. The deal is still pending a medical review. It'll send first baseman Tyler Locklear and right-handers Juan Burgos and Hunter Cranton to the Diamondbacks. Suarez ranks 5th in Major League Baseball with 36 home runs and rejoins the Mariners team, again, where he spent the 2022 and 2023 seasons. Shohei Ohtani would leave his start in the 4th inning. He was expected to pitch only 4 innings for the Dodgers on Wednesday, but ended up leaving due to some tightness in his lower body. Ohtani will be reevaluated, blame the humidity, as the Dodgers fell in their game. As we continue on here on half-hour headlines, Trey Hendrickson finally reporting the Cincinnati Bengals camp on Wednesday, but did not practice, but was seen active on the field, still working on a new contract, and he says he is confident he'll be ready for Week 1, even with limited practices.
I'm always ready. You know, I think that's something that I take a lot of pride in, training hard in the office and getting bigger, faster, stronger. I think I tell Jeff Hobbs the same thing every offseason when we've been here together the last 2 years. So How I train, I'm not worried about. If I'm going to be ready, I'm not worried about it. Hopefully everything works out that we don't have to worry about anything like that.
Trey Hendrickson on whether he'll be ready for week 1, even with the limited practices. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow talked about Trey Hendrickson's arrival to camp.
Yeah, whenever you can have a guy like that in the building, even if he's not going, it's good to see his face, good to have his presence. He's going to play a big part of this team this year, and so just to have him around makes a big difference in the energy around here.
Meanwhile, switching back to baseball, we talked about Shohei Ohtani on the mound as the Dodgers took on the Reds on Wednesday, was slated to only pitch 4 innings. We go into the 4th inning, and Ohtani struggling on the mound. He walked Tyler Stevenson on 4 pitches, throwing 2 wild pitches in that spot, and then threw 2 more pitches off the mark, and that prompted this visit to the mound.
1-0 to Spencer Steer, who had a base hit in the 2nd inning. Pitch. Missed outside, 2-0. All of a sudden, we're seeing a different Ohtani, and now this is Dave Roberts coming out, also trainer Thomas Albert coming out, and they're wondering if Ohtani might be hurt.
Anthony Bond, the lefty, by the way, just starting to throw in the bullpen.
So they will take a look at Ohtani.
And back-to-back wild pitches, and then there were 2 other pitches that were way outside as well.
This would be concerning. Looks like they're going to go to the bullpen. Ohtani's going to come out.
Yeah, that's a big concern. The other question is, how does this affect the designated hitter?
AM 570 LA Sports. Shohei Ohtani pulled from the game in the 4th inning. Reds win it 5-2 over the Dodgers, but the concern was on Ohtani, and if there was any injuries to his arm, it was said and reported that it was lower body cramping and tightness was the reason for his poor form. And Dave Roberts mentioned it after the game.
I just saw a funky throw. The follow-through just didn't look right, and I think he was on the one right before that pitch I came out. And then he threw another pitch, and I just didn't see the finish the right way, so I went out.
Again, the Dodgers falling to the Reds 5-2. Dodgers struggling at just 7-14 since the All-Star break. That's tied for the 3rd worst record in baseball in that span. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio, and the ESPN app. I'm Alex Del Barrio.
SportsCenter, 50 states in 50 days.
We go coast to coast. We going coast to coast.
On ESPN Radio.
50 states in 50 days here on SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Today, day 34, we go to Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes. Of course, the home of the Mall of America, the birthplace of Prince. Of course, it's also the state of hockey. It produces more NHL players per capita than any other state in the union. And, of course, high school hockey in Minnesota is what high school football is to the state of Texas. A lot of great athletes, coaches, and sports moments. And here to go through the most important people in Minnesota sports history, the hosts of Pardon the Interruption, Michael Wilbon, Tony Kornheiser, go through it right here on SportsCenter all night.
All right, Wilbon, who is the most important person in Minnesota sports history?
I'm not about to tackle that, even though I'm a son of the Midwest, and I care what happens in Minnesota as opposed to you New Yorkers and people who think we're all flyover territory. So I've paid attention to Minnesota sports my whole life, hating some of their teams. So I got a group. I'm going to start with George Mikan, Chicago boy, of course, born and raised, but George Mikan, because he won 5 championships in 6 years for the Minneapolis Lakers. And then Tony Kirby Puckett, another Chicago boy. Kirby Puckett won twice. Hall of Famer in Minnesota. Life ended far too soon. But I can go way back. I can go to Tarkenton, Killebrew, Rod Carew, and Tony Oliva, who won 9 batting titles. I could go crazy with all this stuff. Kevin McHale from Hibbing, Minnesota. I don't know why I know that. Guys like Paul Molitor, who are from Minnesota. You could go on forever. I'm going to end up, though, with when I play the Mount Rushmore game, so I'm going to let you go for a while because you got other names.
The reason you remember Kevin McHale is from Hibbing is because Bob Dylan is also from Hibbing, Minnesota. Look, it's very hard for me to eliminate George Mikan because of the titles, as you suggest. But in our heads, we think of the Lakers because they moved, I guess, in 1960 to Los Angeles.
60?
We think of them as the Los Angeles Lakers more than the Minneapolis Lakers. We do in our heads. So I'm gonna talk for a while here. I'm eliminating everybody who was born there but did not play professionally there. Okay, so I'm eliminating Kevin McHale. I'm eliminating Dave Winfield. I'm eliminating Bronco Nagurski. And I want to get to the pro teams because Minneapolis, St. Paul is one of the relatively few cities in the country that has all four. So that's important when you discuss who's the most important. Okay, the Vikings, they have not won a championship. The hockey team has not won a championship, right? The Minnesota Timberwolves, they have not won a championship. I'm not saying that eliminates everybody, but in my mind, it does. The Minnesota Twins have won 2 World Series. They won in 1987 and they won in 1991, if I'm not mistaken, right? And while the Minnesota Twins may have never produced a player as great as Rod Carew, I eliminate Rod Carew because he was not on a championship team. These things go hand in hand for me. Winning a championship and also being a great player. So there are people that are out for me. Randy Moss is out. Van Tarkenton is out. Kevin Garnett is out. Harmon Killebrew is out. Alan Page. And these are all great players. These are all great players. But I'm looking at the Twins because they won a championship. So I'm looking at Herbie and Kirby. I'm looking at Kent Herbeck and Kirby Puckett. And to me, I wouldn't separate them. And they would go at the top of the ladder for me.
Tony, I get that. And again, I said I was going to end with the Mount Rushmore game. I got to go with Mikan, and I got to go with Puckett, and I got my Chicago bias, and I mentioned that. But then I'm going to go with Bud Grant and Fran Tarkenton. And if I did this and just did it on personal interest, I would have to move 2 of them out and include Prince and Mary Richards. You understand that, of course.
Mary Richards. Who can turn the world on with a smile? Sure, Mary Richards. Absolutely.
Here we go. That's it. We're done. Back to you.
Flip your hat. Flip your hat.
I did. Flipped it.
Tony Kornheiser, Michael Wilbon from PTI on the 6 p.m. Sports Center, the most important person in Minnesota sports history. Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. I'm Alex Sabario. And we'll stay in Minnesota. Matchup between the 2 conference leaders in the WNBA, the New York Liberty taking on the Minnesota Lynx at Target Center, a rematch of last year's WNBA Finals. Believe it or not, it's the first matchup of the season between last year's 2 finalists. Liberty coming off of a loss to Dallas on Monday, a game in which they trailed by as many as 30. No Brianna Stewart again in the lineup for New York as she got injured early in Saturday's matchup against the Sparks. To pick up the action in the second quarter, Napheesa Collier has been making noise all season long, already the All-Star Game MVP, and making rounds to be the MVP this season on ESPN.
Here's Williams, giving it up, 6 to shoot, Collier, hits, on the 3, looking like MVP.
MVP indeed, Ryan Ruocco on ESPN, 51-42 the score at that point. Shifting gears to the fourth quarter. Tight game. Collier trying to keep the distance between Minnesota and New York.
This terrific Target Center crowd trying to spark the finish for Minnesota. Collier lays it in, busts the foul. Big time bucket from the MVP favorite.
Collier goes for 30, adds 9 rebounds. Lynx win at 100-93. Her 5th 30-point game this season, tied with A'ja Wilson for the most in the W this season. Collier joined Holly Rowe on ESPN after the win.
Well, Napheesa, New York had climbed back into this game. They're down only by 4 points. You cut through the lane and have 2 shot blockers on you. What's going through your mind as you make a statement in that moment?
Just being aggressive. Like you said, the score was close. We needed a bucket, so I tried to go out there and get it.
I know that a championship wasn't won tonight, but what kind of demons do you exercise with a win over this team in this building?
Just a regular season win for us. We have a lot of work left to do this year. We let what happened last year go, and this is a new season.
You just tied A'ja Wilson for the most 30-point games in the WNBA this season. What has you performing at such a high level?
I think just being aggressive. Like I said, we have a goal to accomplish this year, and so I'm going out there trying to accomplish it every night.
What's the goal, Fee?
Sorry?
What's the goal?
Championship.
Holly Rowe and Napheesa Collier after the game, again on ESPN. Minnesota wins the first matchup of this 2025 season against their finalist opponent from last year, the New York Liberty, 193, the final on Wednesday. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Again, Collier with 30 points, her fifth 30-point game this season. Kayla McBride added 24 for the Lynx for the Liberty. They got 31 from Sabrina Ionescu. It's her fourth 30-point game, fourth straight road loss for the New York Liberty. Now 0-2 without Brianna Stewart. Still no timetable for her return. We'll shift gears to NFL training camps. We'll move to the Pittsburgh Steelers camp. And Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin on the efforts that he made to recruit Aaron Rodgers to join Pittsburgh.
It was kind of a bromance, you know what I mean? Now, for me, man, I was just excited to get to know the guy on a personal level. And so that's how I viewed it. Man, we had some cool and interesting conversations about football, about life, about where he is in his career and what he was potentially looking for. I slow roasted it, if you will, man. I didn't try to microwave it because I didn't feel like that would be effective anyway. And so I just enjoyed getting to know him over the course of those conversations, and I just felt like if we did it and did it consistently, it lay a nice foundation for our relationship when we started working together.
Mike Tomlin on recruiting Aaron Rodgers. As for Aaron Rodgers, he was on the Pat McAfee show on Wednesday and discussed his appreciation for playing for the Steelers.
I mean, Pittsburgh is one of the cornerstone franchises in the NFL. Everybody knows who they are. There's only a few of them. But it's just different here. There's a level of expectation based on the excellence that's happened here where you kind of come in and you expect to fall in the line to embody what it means to be a Steeler. And I really appreciate that because I've been in Green Bay for 18 years, and it's the same thing there.
Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show in Pittsburgh in NFL training camp here on ESPN Radio. Switching gears back to baseball. Red Sox taking on the Twins. 2-1 lead for the Red Sox in the fifth inning, and Jarren Duran at the plate.
Duran waits. Pitch. Swinging a line drive into center field, certainly deep enough, although Wong misread it. It bounces in front of Bader, and then off his leg. Wong scores. Anthony comes home. Throw to the mound, not in time. A misplay by Bader gives the Red Sox 2, and it is 4-1.
4-1 Red Sox in the fifth on WEEI 93.7 FM in Boston. More from Duran as he continued to pour on the offense. We go to the sixth inning. Red Sox up 6-1. This time he goes long.
Here's Jarren, first pitch. Duran swings and he skies one. Right field and struck well. Wallner looks up. It is gone to the upper deck at Target Field. Jarren Duran unloads for the second day in a row. A tape measure shot. And it's 8-1 Red Sox in the sixth.
Red Sox beat the Twins 13-1, the final score there. Sox winners of 4 of their last 5. Red Sox have hits from 9 of their 10 position players to appear in the game. 16 hits tie the team's season high in a game away from Fenway Park. Elsewhere in baseball, the Blue Jays beat the Orioles 9-8. Miles Straw 3 for 4, the 2-run homer and 3 RBI. Cedric Mullins did have his 9th home run rob of his career in the top of the 6th, tied with Kyle Tucker for second most in baseball since 2018. Blue Jays 4 games in front of the Yankees in the American League East. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. More from the WNBA Hardwood, plus some of the best moments from a busy sports day on Wednesday on the eve of the MLB trade deadline. A lot of action off the field, but certainly some on the field. We'll hear the best of it next. SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
We are on September 2nd moving to ESPN Radio, which is also my roots, I'm proud to say.
The return of Rich Eisen.
To be able to go back to where my career started was something that I never thought possible.
September 2nd, weekdays from noon to 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN Plus, and on Disney Plus. More SportsCenter all night coming up next.
Get some knowledge. Attend Whiskey U.
How many Whiskey U's have you been to?
Probably been about 10 or 11 Whiskey U's.
Yeah, this is my second one.
Probably 5 or 6.
And I came out to that first one, and I was like, oh, well, this is nice.
Top notch. Carmen's amazing.
From then, it just took off for me.
Stay tuned for details on the next session of Whiskey U.
I'm a sophomore, so I think I have 2 years to go, and I'm hoping to get a master's. Fingers crossed.
Whiskey me? No! Whiskey you!
Hey friends,
friends, I'm Tom Waddle, and I drive a Hawk. Find your next car at hawkauto.com. Choose from 12 Hawk Auto locations at Forest Park, St. Charles, Plainfield, Joliet, Carroll Stream, and now LaSalle, Peru. Shop thousands of vehicles from 13 big brands. Save with 0% financing or make no payments for 90 days. Plus, save even more with our complimentary maintenance plan. Find your next car at hawkauto.com and drive what I drive. Drive a Hawk.
HawkAuto.com.
Financing and plan on select models with approved credit.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
Workplace stress is now a leading cause of declining mental health, with 61% of the global workforce feeling it more than ever. Hey guys, it's Sylvie. You can't escape work, but you can take small steps to care for yourself. A walk, some sun, a favorite song. Therapy is one of those steps. Ongoing support to build resilience for whatever your day throws at you. Balance is tough. Getting help shouldn't be. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout today for 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/timeout.
The Bears voted in favor of banning the tush push. They know what the play was, or they're just going on the term tush push. That doesn't sound very fun. Is that a profane term? I don't want it.
It sounds uncomfortable. Go ahead.
That too.
Ow! Ouchie! I haven't done that. Ouchie!
Cap and J Hood presented by ESPN Bet. Weekday morning 7 to 10 on ESPN Chicago and the ESPN Chicago app.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
I think my biggest challenge was getting through to him to understand that love is real and you have goals in mind, you have things that want to happen, and I want to help you get there.
Sometimes people tend to shy away from wanting to adopt teenagers because they feel like they've lost so much, but there's still so much to gain.
Just knowing that there's just that other person that cares and loves me out there, it feels great. And they've done so much for me, and I can only be appreciative every single day for just having them in my life.
I think it's been the best decision because I gained a son, and he's the best son ever. If I was down and out, he'd be there.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Cap and J Hood, morning 7 to 10 on ESPN 1000, Chicago's home for sports.
Listening to Sports Center all night on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. Now, here's Alex Del Barrio.
We continue rolling on here on Sports Center all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. ESPN Radio presented by Progressive Insurance. We're now on the day of the Major League Baseball trade deadline, July 31st. Already players on the move. The most notable of that, Eugenio Suarez heading back to the Seattle Mariners, place he played in 2022 and 2023. Traded for 3 players as he goes from Arizona to Seattle. That, a couple of relievers on the move as well. We'll get to all of that later on in the program. But a lot of balls leaving the yard, a lot of great moments on the diamond and on the WNBA hardwood. To break it all down for us and give us our top moments, here's Nick DeLuca with our top sound.
Sports Center all night.
Oh my goodness! Check it out on Sports Center tonight.
Today's top sound.
How good is that? Are you ready to take?
Number 5.
All right, Alex, start on the WNBA hardwood finals rematch between the Lynx and the Liberty. Nafisa Collier had it all working. Hoop and harm on ESPN.
This terrific target center crowd trying to spark the finish for Minnesota. Collier lays it in, plus the foul. Big time bucket from the MVP favorite.
Number 4.
Cubs trying to avoid the sweep in Milwaukee. Michael Busch got the game started in style on the Cubs radio network.
Busch hitting 276. We're ready to go. The first pitch by Peralta hit in the air. Deep right field. It's got a chance. Cubs lead 1-0. Michael Busch cracking a home run on the game's first pitch. And the Cubs have an immediate 1-0 lead, and listen to the Cub fans here at American Family Field.
Number 3.
The Pirates polishing off a sweep in San Francisco, closing it out on 93.7 The Fan.
2 outs, 2 on in the 10th, and a 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Madsen threw his fastball by Ramos. He'll get the win, and the Bucs get the sweep of the Giants. For the first time since 1896, the Giants get swept in a homestand of this length, and the Pirates earn their first sweep on the road since last year when they beat the White Sox. It was a 2-1 10-inning win today for the Bucs.
Number 2.
Royals and Braves scoreless in Kansas City took 10, but Salvador Perez put an end to the afternoon on 96.5 The Fan.
Here's the pitch. Salvi laces it into right center field, down into the gap, a base hit. Here comes Melendez, racing around third. No throw home. Ball game over. The game's first run is the only one the Royals need. El Capitan walks it off in the bottom of the 10th, and the Royals beat the Braves 1-0.
Number 1.
And Alex, our top sound of the night from the Bronx. The Yankees and Rays going back and forth. New York acquired Ryan McMahon ahead of the deadline. It's already paying off on Prime Video.
0-1. This should do it. Fly ball. DeLuca. He'll let it go over his head. And the Yankees win. Jazz Chisholm will score. McMahon with the walk-off single. And the Yankees in a wild game wins this one in 11 innings by a score of 5-4.
That was Nick DeLuca with our top sound as we continue rolling on here on SportsCenter all night, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. More from the WNBA on Wednesday. The Dallas Wings hosting the Atlanta Dream. Wings are 2-2 in their last 4 games after losing their previous 4. 1-1 against Atlanta this season. Paige Beckers having a nice season, sitting on 382 points and 115 assists in her first 21 games as a pro. She needs just 18-5 to be the only player to join Caitlin Clark with 400 points and 120 assists in their first 25 career games in the WNBA. Let's get to the action in the fourth quarter. Game tied at 85. Atlanta with a basketball.
Lee Yu-Ru is checked in.
On ESPN3, that made it 88-85. And coming down to the wire, the Dream finished the deal with that 88-85 final score. Heard it there on ESPN3 thanks to the Hillman 3. Alicia Gray, 15 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Hillman in the game finished with a new career high 21 points, including that 3 you just heard. Beckers in the loss for Dallas with 21 points and 7 assists. She now ties Cynthia Cooper for fewest games to 400 points and 100 assists in WNBA history, doing it in just 22 games. Continue on. No Caitlin Clark on the floor for the Indiana Fever as they hosted the Phoenix Mercury. Phoenix out to a 16-9 start. Phoenix taking on the Mercury. Aaliyah Boston with a big play down the stretch here for Indiana.
Only 15 three-point attempts and 6 makes for Phoenix from outside the line.
Boston step through, lays it in. You can't stop her. Boston and 1.
Fever trailed by as many as 12 and rallied for the 107-101 victory over the Mercury. Aaliyah Boston scoring 17 of her 22 in the fourth quarter, her most in any quarter of her career, second most by a Fever player in any quarter in franchise history. For Phoenix, Alyssa Thomas with 32 points and 15 rebounds in the loss. Phoenix blew a 12-point lead, tied for the largest blown lead of their season. Also in the Big League Diamond on Wednesday, Marlins beat the Cardinals 2-0, fourth shutout for the Marlins in July. Cardinals shut out for the 12th time this season. Also on Wednesday, the Cardinals dealt closer Ryan Helsley to the New York Mets for 3 minor leaguers. He's expected to be the Mets' setup man for Edwin Diaz. Helsley led the majors last season with 49 saves. But the big trade news is Eugenio Suarez going for the D-backs and returning to the Seattle Mariners. Here to talk about that, more trade deadline news, NFL training camp news, and more. We've got Unsportsmanlike with Chris Canty, Evan Cohen, and Michelle Smallman next. For our entire crew in Bristol, I'm Alex Sabario. This has been SportsCenter All Night, ESPN Radio, and the ESPN app.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty. Coming up Thursday, Justin Jefferson said we'll need to be patient with J.J. McCarthy. I'll tell you why the Vikings won't have that luxury. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio.
Cap and J Hood.
It's so good to have you guys a part of my life. And when I tune in every day, even though I don't call in as much as I should, I keep it locked in all the time up here in the snow.
I appreciate you, Curtis. Thank you so much for listening.
This radio station is by far the best radio station.
Get Cap and J Hood podcasts on demand in the ESPN Chicago app or listen weekdays 7 to 10 on ESPN 1000 and 100.3 HD2.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people. Being a caregiver for a family member can be very rewarding. It can be very challenging, too. Besides taking a physical and emotional toll, it can also take a real financial toll, especially if you're paying for home safety upgrades, covering medical expenses, cutting back on hours at your job, or having to leave your job altogether. In some states and in certain situations, you may be eligible to get paid for the care you provide, but finding reliable information about caregiver compensation can be overwhelming and very time-consuming. The AARP Foundation Paid for Care Hub can help. It's a free online tool developed with support from United Healthcare, where you can search compensation programs, explore your options, and get answers to frequently asked questions. Find out today if it's possible to be compensated for the time, effort, and care you're providing. Visit paidforcare.aarpfoundation.org to learn more.
My fiance is a veteran. He was a combat medic in the Army.
I did tours in Korea, Germany, and Bosnia before I got injured.
There's been a lot of wear and tear on his body.
My knees are bone on bone from doing all those jumps and lugging my backpack and all that gear around. I was also exposed to toxins.
When Yusuf got out of the military, he needed help getting his disability benefits.
Luckily, DAV came to the rescue. They fought for me the same way that I fought for my country.
Every year, DAV provides life-changing support to more than 1 million veterans like Yusuf, helping them get the benefits they've earned so they can achieve victories, great and small.
Now Yusuf is paying it forward. DAV has been instrumental in helping him start 2 healthcare technology companies that are working to help veterans everywhere.
My victory is never giving up and finding more ways to serve.
He's pretty amazing.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
This is ESPN Chicago, WNVP, WTBC, HD2 Chicago, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
This is Unsportsmanlike.
Unsportsmanlike. The Pittsburgh Steelers finished last in the AFC North, and the franchise and Mike Tomlin mutually agreed to part ways. Oldest team in the AFC, second oldest team in the entire league, and the most expensive defense in the entire league. And a washed up Aaron Rodgers going into his age 42 season. In what world is that a formula for success in today's game?
Okay, welcome to the show, bro. We're on Sportsmanlike, presented by Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, motorcycle, boat, RVs, commercial vehicles. 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com. Yes, a lot to discuss. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the Pat McAfee show out there yesterday. We got sound for you coming up, along with Michelle Smallman, Chris Canty, Evan Cohen, a.k.a. B-Rad, a.k.a. Evan, however you want to do it.
How about Ev Hardy?
Ev Hardy.
Ev Hardy.
Yeah, so
Well
for
done.
whatever reason, we're doing a Throwback Thursday today. And by we, I mean me. And I am rocking an Ed Hardy 90s, early 2000s t-shirt.
Bedazzled skull.
The Bedazzled Skull Ed Hardy shirt, the Von Dutch hat.
The puka shell necklace.
And the thumb ring.
There we go.
Oh, and the leather watch with the
The
perforated
wristband,
strap.
yeah.
Perforated leather strap there.
And the jean jacket. It's just he's completed the look.
And a little Von Dutch hat askew on the head.
Yeah, it's great.
You seem very comfortable.
You committed to the bit, and I appreciate that.
Me too.
Yeah. You embarrassing yourself is our entertainment. Thank you.
Wonderful. I think this looks better than what I normally wear. I got to be honest with you.
No, Blazer Evan Cohen is pretty good. Ev Hardy, a little different. It's going to take some getting used to, but I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, Smalls really cut my legs out from underneath me today because we were in the hair and makeup room at the same time, and I turned to her and I said, I think it looks good. And she looks at me and she goes, no, it doesn't. Okay.
Well, I don't want you to start wearing this in your regular rotation.
Yeah.
I mean...
Now, we heard from our director, Mike. He was saying that the Ed Hardy T-shirts are coming back. I know you have several Ed Hardy T-shirts in your closet.
Another one in my bag
that
right
are
now.
brand new. Are you going to start rocking the Ed Hardy on a consistent basis?
Well, if it's cool. I mean, I was the first one in, right? Am I not? I'm the first one into this, Ed Hardy. And yes, the Bedazzled. I have another one. You guys talk. I'll go get the other one. Hold on. Stay there.
Uh-oh, you're getting another Ed Hardy shirt out of your bag? Why did you bring two? I don't understand why you brought two, Smalls. That just doesn't make any sense.
Well, I have three, actually.
But why did you bring two to work today? You can only wear one at a time. It doesn't make sense.
So this proves how, why would I buy this and not wear it?
Yeah.
The tag is still on this from about 20 years ago.
Is a price tag on it?
Oh, my God.
And this is the other one that I have.
A bedazzled eagle.
I don't know if you can wear that now.
With a banner that says Ed Hardy.
That just means something different.
Why does it say Ed Hardy twice on the front? Ed Hardy at the top and Ed Hardy on the banner, and then Ed Hardy on the back. They really want you to know who the designer is of this
No doubt
t-shirt.
about it. You're a billboard for Ed Hardy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Does it have a price on there? That tag that's on there? I'm very curious.
Those T-shirts were expensive.
That's why I was wondering.
They were like $100 or something like that.
No way. I wouldn't have paid that.
Yeah,
They were
those things weren't
expensive.
cheap. They weren't cheap.
I don't think I would have paid that. Vegas
You
East, how
might
do you
have
think
got it
I
on
look?
discount because you bought so many at one time.
That's true. Buy two, get one free. Maybe I did
Okay,
that.
I'm looking right now. Regular price, $95 for the
$100
Pierce Eagle tee.
$100.
I also have a fake earring. Should I wear that?
Yeah.
It's too valuable for you to wear, though.
Well, that was my whole thing in keeping
It's too valuable for you to wear.
I have a keychain that kind of looks like an earring a little bit, but it's... Oh, wait, maybe I...
Can you put it on?
Yeah, I'm going to try.
How does that
Hold on.
work?
I'm going to have to put it in my ear and then put the little earpiece in over it.
Okay.
Very tricky spot here.
He's
No, I
put
can't do it.
What is
I can't
that?
do it.
Is that a...
It's a keychain.
Oh, it looked like a nose ring of some sort.
Oh, like the bullhorn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to do that. It has my initials on it.
Very
I have-
Dennis Rodman of you.
I have a whole, like...
It is very, very, very Rodman-esque.
Right?
Yeah.
The nose ring like that?
I have a whole, like, drawer of different, like, old things that I just keep.
I don't know. Evan gives me the look of the guy that went back to high school as an undercover cop guy. So just be careful what you
He's
say.
narking on
He might
people?
be wearing a wire today. Someone search him.
Good looking out,
Rob,
Nuno.
I'm going to need you during the break to search
Wow.
him. Make sure he's not wearing a wire.
He's the ESPN narc. Ev Hardy, he's the ESPN narc.
He walked in like, hey, guys. What are we drinking today?
Man, I'm just saying.
I would 1,000% go back to high school right now if it was legal to play football. Like, literally, if you said to me right now, somehow you were allowed to play high school football again with my mindset now versus then, and I can go back to high school, I would do it in 3
Like a
seconds.
Never Been Kissed scenario?
Yeah.
That movie?
Oh, God.
I think
Remember
they're
the movie
fine.
Drew
I
Barrymore?
think
She goes back to high school?
Yeah.
What were you saying, Pat?
I think they're fine without you.
No, I'd help. You don't think I'd help my high school
Wait.
football team?
No, I think you'd go and be the
No.
backup quarterback.
No way. They'd be better
Riocho.
with me. They'd be better with me. Absolutely.
They'd be better.
Yes.
Now, at this stage of your life.
No doubt.
At football?
Yes. With my mindset now, and if you allowed me back in, my commitment, I'd have the Tebow Ole Miss speech. You'd never see somebody
Okay.
work as hard as me. God bless.
But what about the physical skills?
I still got it.
You still got it?
I still got
So,
it.
8 interceptions on deck.
If you
could
didn't
throw
have it
7.
then.
That ball toss down at the Super Bowl in New Orleans really got his confidence up, Smalls.
You are not kidding.
My goodness. You don't still have it. You never had it, sir.
Wait a minute.
You
What if-
never had it. You
And
threw
if-
8 interceptions in one game.
And-
You never had it.
And if you could
This
go back
hurts
to
now.
any point in your life and
That's
revisit anything, that's it?
Not even debatable. If you could rewind my life and put me with my mindset currently and put me back in one part of my life, it would be playing football again. No question.
What would you do?
Probably the same thing. Both
Me?
of us, same
yeah,
thing.
where would you go back
Ex-players.
to? What
No,
point?
I ain't going back there. Nah, I'm good. I did my bit. I'm straight. I enjoyed my time.
Yeah.
But I know right now, as a 42-year-old man, ain't no way in hell I'm going to hold up on a football field.
No.
I got out of football because I kept breaking down. The last game I played was the last catastrophic injury I had, and I have no desire to go back. Because if you play football, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when you get hurt, and I'm tired of being chopped and screwed.
Yeah,
I ain't Bun B. You know what I'm saying? I'm not them boys on the third coast of Texas. I don't want to be screwed up no more. I'm good. I'm straight.
Real quick, Ev, it looks like Scarsdale went 7-2 last year. I don't think they needed you.
Really?
Yeah, they're good.
Why the hell did we do that?
7-2, Scarsdale.
We went 7-2?
Yep, they went 7-2.
Man, probably in a lower division, though. Let's be fair.
Yeah,
They're probably not playing the same competition as they did when I played.
You would have been the water boy.
I played against NFL players. Let's go through. Give me their schedule on the break, please, Nuno. I don't think we need to go through it now. That's
Please
that's
don't.
a long.
We're not doing that now.
Did they
We
play?
don't do that.
If they didn't play Roosevelt. I played against Jimmy Kennedy. It was a top 15 pick in the draft. Give me a break.
Congratulations for you.
Yeah.
That you were on the same field as him.
That's right. I agree with you. Congratulations to me. That's right. Well said. Thank you very much. Okay, we're on Sportsmanlike here on ESPN Radio, presented by Progressive Insurance. I'm wearing Ed Hardy and Von Dutch today, and I'm very uncomfortable now that Small says I look terrible. Anyway,
I'm just trying to deter you from wearing it regularly. That's all.
I mean, is it that far off from what he already wears?
Yeah, I like the jean jacket I've worn.
If he just takes off the hat, it's pretty much what he wears already.
Okay, Pat, thanks. This is really just demoralizing. Omar Khan is the general manager of the Steelers. He spoke to Pat McAfee yesterday on site, Pat McAfee show in Pittsburgh, and here's what Omar Khan of the Steelers had to say.
Until we win a Super Bowl, I don't really deserve any credit, but the reality is we our goal is to win a Super Bowl this year, and every move we make is reflective of that, and we understand we can't sacrifice the future, but we won a Super Bowl this year, and the moves that we made and how we've structured these contracts, it's with that goal in mind.
I actually respect those comments, even though I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl this year, simply because of the fact that he's right. Every move they made would be a win-now team. You don't sign a 41-year-old quarterback unless you think you're a win-now team. You don't give up an arm and a leg for a stud wide receiver in DK Metcalf unless you think you're a win-now team. Do they fall into the top tier of AFC teams that you think could win in a Super Bowl?
See, I normally would think if you're acquiring a quarterback at that stage in his career, it's a bridge for the rookie that you want to develop, not because it's a win-now move.
Well, they don't have the rookie. That's the problem.
But
unless you think Will Howard's a guy.
But that's what I'm saying. On the surface, if you make a move like that, it's because you want to bridge the gap for the next guy, not because you think that you're a Super Bowl contender.
What am I missing? The Pittsburgh Steelers prioritized Justin Fields this offseason in free agency. They didn't get him. Fields felt some kind of way about being benched after the first 6 games for Russell Wilson, decided he was going to bounce and go somewhere else and start anew. Okay, cool. Your fallback plan was Aaron Rodgers. This was the leftovers of the rest of the league. Nobody except you wanted him. There was a one-team market for Aaron Rodgers' services this offseason, and it happens to be the most quarterback-thirsty team in the league, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Why am I to believe that you're going to be a championship contender? Tom Brady aside, I don't think we've had any quarterback in his age 42 season start and win a playoff game. So why am I supposed to believe that Aaron Rodgers, off of what we've seen the last 3 years, is going to all of a sudden transform his individual production and have that translate to the Pittsburgh Steelers doing something that they haven't done since the 2016 season, which is win a playoff game? It feels like there are a lot of odds stacked against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I get that Mike Tomlin might like it that way. But I'm sorry, I have to pay attention to what we've seen in the recent past. The best indicator for future performance is past performance. In the recent past performances from both the Steelers and Aaron Rodgers would not lead me to believe that this team is a true championship contender.
Another thing I was thinking about, too, is for any quarterback, but especially a quarterback of that age that is 2 years removed now from an Achilles injury, and you certainly don't move the same as you did in your age 42 season as you did in years past. What's the protection like? And I spent some time last night looking at various rankings for the Steelers' offensive line, anywhere between 25th and 28th, depending on which website you look at. So it's not as if he's behind one of the best lines in football either. So why are we thinking that this is going to be a successful endeavor for them?
Sounds like you had a very busy night looking at Steelers offensive line rankings.
I did. I really want to drill into that.
Wow.
Well, I'm trying to find indicators for success here. And
the indicator is the coach. That's the indicator for success.
But he'll get you to have a winning season. He may get you to the playoffs, but that's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to get beyond that.
Well, the coach is Mike Tomlin. He spoke to Pat McAfee yesterday, and he was asked about whether or not it feels different having Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback this year.
You're damn right it does. It feels pretty good, too. Yeah, but just the possibilities, man. To have a guy like that, man, in your huddle, in your locker room, a part of your group, it certainly gives us all great confidence.
Okay, sure. I mean, Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, let's just actually do the quarterback position last year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions for the quarterback position last year. Are we sure that Rodgers is going to be definitively better than that this year? 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Actually, let me get the...
Ev, are we sure Aaron Rodgers is going to make it through the season?
No, but actually, I need to add something. I apologize.
Go ahead.
7 rushing touchdowns for the two of them because those guys can move.
Yeah.
Justin Fields specifically is a great runner of the football.
Yeah.
So now let me make it 28 touchdowns from the quarterback position. I think that may be exactly what Rodgers had last year.
He had 28 passing touchdowns, correct.
So this whole, it feels different. I love Tomlin, you love Tomlin, we all love Tomlin. It doesn't feel that different. It feels the same, basically. It's what it feels to me. Like, numerically, it's the same. So this is so uncomfortable because I love Tomlin so much, but the spinning this way is just wild to me. Like, we're just, what are we doing here?
Well, you can't go into training camp conceding the season.
Understood.
And as he's always told us, the standard is the standard. The organization has fell far short of the standard. And to me, this feels like more of the same with signing up as Aaron Rodgers, QB1, going into his age 42 season off of what we've seen the last 3 years, especially the last 2 in New York, where he literally set a franchise on fire. I just don't understand why I'm to believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to be a better teammate than what we witnessed 2 years in New York, and how that's going to correlate to markedly better success for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
All right, we got a busy day today, a little throwback Thursday with dressing, at least for me, like late 90s, early 2000s with the Ed Hardy and Von Dutch. It's the MLB trade deadline. Tim Kirchen's going to join us later. Lots of trades. Smalls' Cardinals dumping players left and right.
Team Mets, Ryan Helsley. Good pickup for you guys.
Eugenio Suarez to the from the Diamondbacks back to the Mariners to join Cal Raleigh. We got tons to get to, including what exactly happened a year ago today. We will find out after Smalls has this from ESPN Bet, where CC and I just told you, bet the under on the Steelers.
Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app, sign up with promo code USL, that's USL, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
The NFL on ESPN Radio.
Maybe the answer to the Browns quarterback situation, it's none of the 4 above.
Camp to camp, team to team. 35 days until opening night.
So going, man.
The countdown continues on ESPN Radio.
Whiskey fans can learn a lot from Professor Carmen DeFalco.
Not too many people that can have sports knowledge and also whiskey bourbon knowledge.
Carmen's amazing. I do like whiskeys and bourbons. Still kind of a novice, and he helps me understand a little bit better what I should be looking for.
I'm a hardcore bourbon guy, and I listen to Carmen Yurko every day.
He can pull out the very essentials that I can't even taste.
Stay tuned for details on the next session of Whiskey U, an ESPN Chicago production.
Save big on everything you need.